How is it going, Database? It says No Data here. Welcome back to another episode on Roblox Assassin. And we have already hit 500 likes on the top 10 best knives video. So first of all, thank you guys so much for the support on that top 10. I very much appreciate it. It is awesome. And now that I've reached so many likes, I have to make another top 10 list of the top 10 worst knives in Assassin. So yeah, the same rules apply, but if you haven't checked out the top 10 best knives, first of all, you can click the eye in the top right corner if you want to check that out right now. But if you do not know the rules, or maybe you just want to check out this list first, here are the rules. Any knife is acceptable. It could be any tier. It could even be developer exclusive, you know, whatever. If it's a knife that you can have in Assassin, then it is considered for this list. No pets allowed, just knives. This top 10 is really only considering looks and doesn't really involve value in any way. If you want to know the top 10 worst knives in terms of value, you can just check out the value list yourself. Also, just so you guys know, this is my opinion, so if one of these knives on this list happens to be your favorite knife in the entire game, then I apologize. You know, it's just not my cup of tea. So yeah, if you guys are excited to bash on some Assassin knives, then be sure to drop a like on this video. Helps out a whole lot. And comment down below your least favorite knife. But you know what is a good knife in Assassin? Corrupted Axe. And we are actually giving away a free Corrupted Axe right now. So if you guys want the chance to win a free Corrupted Axe, all you need to do is subscribe, click the bell, and then click the eye in the top right corner. Do what that video says, and then come back to this video because you will be entered into the Corrupted Axe giveaway. And without further ado, let us begin the countdown for the top 10 worst knives in Assassin. Now, there aren't a lot of knives in Assassin that are particularly ugly, so I feel like you're going to find, you know, the beginning of the list is not necessarily bad. The knives are kind of just bland, and number 10 is a good example of that. At number 10, we have Lava Blade. Now, Lava Blade is the exotic in Case 3, and it came out during the February update in 2017. It was pretty high in demand at first, because, you know, it's a new knife, and it's always high in demand. But, yeah, this thing dropped in demand very, very quickly, and now this is known as the worst exotic in the entire game. And, for good reason. First of all, you know, it's a pretty small knife, so there's really not too much to say about it, and, you know, it doesn't even look like a knife. Like, what is that? How do you kill somebody with the lava blade? Like, what exactly is it? It looks like a pancake or something. It's pretty small. It's completely flat. It's got a weird shape to it, and, you know, it's got one color. So, the knife is kind of just underwhelming overall. Even for a tier 1 exotic, it's pretty underwhelming. There are really good tier 1 exotics in the game, like Dark Blade, Ice Lord, Chaos Axe. So many cool tier 1 exotics, and just Lava Blade is just there. You gotta hate when you're crafting an exotic with legendaries, you're just so excited, like, oh my god, what knife am I gonna get? And then it's Lava Blade. Like, no one's happy about that, unless it's like your first exotic, in which case, good for you. But like, nobody's ever happy when they craft Lava Blade with legendaries, and nobody ever opens Case 3 anyway, so I doubt that's a concern. Now, the number 9 spot is actually a tie between Crystal Blade and Dark Crystal. So, yeah, I put these two on the same spot because, let's be honest, these knives are pretty much identical. Like, let's be real here. One of them is slightly darker. But let's talk about the Crystal Blade first. The Crystal Blade is the exotic that you get for free. Well, I guess not for free, but you get it automatically when you buy the VIP Game Pass. And to me, it's kind of just a giant white crystal with the handle. Alright. There's not too much to say about it. First of all, there's absolutely no value to the Crystal Blade because it's untradeable. And second of all, this thing is just kind of bland. It's just the white sword. It doesn't even really look like a sword that much. I mean, to be fair, it is a guaranteed exotic. So, I mean, I guess you got what you paid for, really. And I guess it is better than just getting a legendary. You used to just get a legendary from that. So, at least you get an exotic now. And I feel like that's pretty cool. So yeah, Crystal Blade, that was released in the summer update, and it was just chilling ever since. And then Dark Crystal came around. Now, Dark Crystal, first of all, the way you got it, I feel like was really cool. So basically, This was the first ever code exotic knife, and technically the only one. I mean, I guess you will redeem 3 of the rare knives to get Jolly Blade, but that's not exactly the same. But Dark Crystal, it was literally a exotic code knife. You would put in a code and you would get this exotic knife. But the thing was, you could only use the code a certain amount of times. So like after 7,000 accounts use it, for example, couldn't use the code anymore. So, you know, it was still kind of limited and still kind of rare and cool. So yeah, the way to get it was really cool. This knife is actually really hyped for a while. Like everyone was trying to get the code for it. You know, it was insane. But in terms of looks, I still don't really like it. First of all, this is also untradeable. So, you know, even though you redeem the code for it to get an exotic, it's really not that valuable at all. And again, like I said, value doesn't really matter for this situation. But like, what's a knife if you can't trade it, you know? And I mean, come on, Prisman. For the first ever code exotic knife, you could have made something a little bit more original. It's literally Crystal Blade, which, you know, by itself is pretty bland and unoriginal. You took Crystal Blade and made it slightly darker. You know, like the handle's dark, the crystal itself is slightly darker. Like, it's basically the same thing. So yeah, pretty cool methods to get these exotics, but in terms of looks, I'm not a big fan of it. At number 8, we have Marble. Now, Marble is in the standard case, and, you know, that's pretty much all I have to say about this knife. I really don't like it because this is just one of the most bland knives I've ever seen. Like, it's pretty much just pure white. I mean, I guess ice is also like that, but, you know, it's ice, so it kind of makes sense. Alright, actually, Marble looks just like ice, but with a different handle. So it's like, what the heck, Marble? Why are you trying to be ice? You're not ice. Ice is a cool knife, sort of. You know, ice is also not the best. But Marble's just trying to be ice. And it's basically a worse version of ice. But yeah, Marble is kind of just a completely white knife. Honestly, we have a lot of those, like Marble, Ice, Frost, Slush. Those are all just pure white knife. I don't know how Prisman can make so many of the same knife that's just pure white. I don't know how he keeps doing it. It's incredible. Number 7 is Opal. This is one of the legendaries in the elite case. And you're probably wondering, well, no data, why is this knife on the list? Alright, well, picture this, right? Picture this. You know, you've been grinding in Assassin for a couple of hours, alright? You've been working hard, been getting a lot of kills, things are going well, and you want to open an elite case, right? And there's so many cool elite case knives. You know, there's mythics, there's exotics, and there's even some cool legendaries, you know? Like, yeah, you're probably going to open a legendary, realistically. It's a 78% chance. That's more than 3/4 chance. But, you know, there are some cool legendaries you can get. So, you know, you're feeling good. You got the tokens pretty quickly, completed all your missions, got a lot of kills. You open up an elite case, and you're just wondering, man, what knife am I going to get from this case? And then you get an Opal. This knife is so bland. It's just so bland and boring, especially for a legendary. Like, if this was a common, you know, I'd give it a pass. Like, alright, that's an okay common, I guess. This thing is a legendary. And there are so many cool legendaries like Stained, Infernus. You know, I'm kind of just naming them off the top of my head. But then you have Opal, and it's kind of just it's not that good. It's disappointing. At number 6, we have Viper. Now, this is a common in, I believe, case 4. I'm not exactly certain. You know, this knife isn't very memorable. Now, first of all, this is a little off topic, but let me rant about case 4 itself for a little while. Now, fun fact, before case 4 existed, there were actually some pretty rare unobtainable knives, particularly Pop, Bubblegum, and Sand. Yeah, those 3 knives are in case 4. Those used to be unobtainable and extremely rare. You know, like Kool-Aid, Spectrum, Static, you know, those super rare knives that you still can't get, they're unobtainable? Yeah, Sand, Pop, and Bubblegum used to be in that boat. But, you know, case 4 just had to ruin it for everybody. Just who needs to make them valuable, right? Just throw away the value and put them back in case 4, because why not? But, yeah, Viper, the knife itself, it's okay, I guess. You know, it's obviously going for, like, a sort of snake thing. You can kind of see the snake, tiles, I guess? I don't... But in my opinion, it's kind of just an ugly knife. That's pretty much it. It's kind of... It's just not appealing to me. Next. For number 5, we have DIY. Now, this is a common that I believe is in case 5. Again, I don't exactly remember this off the top of my head, but yeah, it is a common in one of the cases. And again, this is just another one of these knives. It's just like, it's kind of boring, honestly. Like, I see what they were going for, like, oh, it's a blank knife. You can make whatever you want on it, except you can't put anything you want on it. It's kind of just a blank knife. It's got a smiley face on it. That's cool, I guess. Yeah, I don't really like this knife. At number 4, we have Trunk. Now, this is a knife. It's a common knife that is in the standard case, and it's just another bland, uninspired knife, in all honesty. Now, first of all, I don't even like the name Trunk. That kind of just sounds awkward. Like, hey, you want my knife called Trunk? Like, what is that? And there's some wood on it. That's always nice. And alright, cool. Moving on. Alright, but now we start getting into the actual ugly knives. And at number 3, we have Wanwood. Now, Wanwood was a common in, I think, case 1. I think it is case 1. And first of all, what kind of name is Wanwood? That is so weird. Am I even saying it right? Wanwood? Wanwood? Is it Wanwood? I don't know. It's just really weird to say. And this knife is kind of just ugly. It's got some green, moldy colors with it that's just not really appealing. And again, it's got a weird name called Wanwood. It's a common. It's not really worth much, and it's kind of just green and ugly. And this is both in Assassin and Murder Mystery 2. So, like, I have to see this in 2 different games. Like, can this knife just not exist? At number 2, we have Rosefoil. Now, Rosefoil is a legendary in the Elite case, and I've always found this to be a very, very ugly legendary. I don't even know what it is. Like, I don't know, I guess just the color and I don't even know. Even in the picture, like, it looks okay. But then when you use it in Assassin, it's just like, it's just not good. It's not appealing to the eye. And there's so many cool legendaries like Stain. And what else do we have? We got Galaxy. Galaxy is such a cool legendary. Frigid is awesome. King of Hearts looks kind of weird at first, but, you know, it's a card, which is pretty cool. And they have Rosefoil. And, like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Just the combination of the colors is just really not that appealing to the human eye. Rosefoil is also a really weird name. Like, Rosefoil? Like, where's the foil in this? And even that green, like, at the very bottom of it, I feel like that just ruins the knife. Like, why is there green at the bottom? That bothers me. It doesn't blend it in well. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, what is it? And ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, for the worst knife ever in Assassin, we have Pebble. Now, Pebble is a common in the standard case. Now, if you happen to be a fan of Pebble, I recommend you step away from this video right now, because we are about to talk trash. You know, talk trash like how this knife is trash. Now, listen, I've seen a lot of Assassin knives, like a lot of them, alright? Been through this game for a very long time, and I gotta say, Pebble is the ugliest knife I have ever seen in my entire life. I'm sorry, this knife is just brown dirt ugly, alright? I saw this and I was just like, what the heck is this? Even the name is just pathetic. It's literally Pebble. Like, wow, you want my knife called Pebble? Pebbles are pathetic. You just look at the design of this knife and every single part about it just looks hideous. It literally looks like dirt. That looks like literal dirt. Might as well just call this knife dirt or trash or I don't know, something else like garbage or something. I feel like Prisman almost intended for this knife to be bad. Like, I don't know. You take a knife, you call it Pebble, you put it in the standard case. I feel like this thing is meant to be bad. It's meant to be hideous. And this is just a very rare exception where I just wouldn't care about value. Listen, if Pebble ever becomes unobtainable and becomes rare, like extremely rare, you know what? That's not my concern. I don't want this knife in my inventory. I don't care how rare it is. It just doesn't look good. I don't want this knife in my glorious inventory, alright? My inventory is beautiful. It's got so many knives. Pebble is not one of them. And to say the least, this is one of the reasons why I tend to just avoid the standard case. I do not want this knife ever in my inventory When people give this to me, I just craft it into rares. It's like, bye-bye, Pebble. It's like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I get rid of it as soon as humanly possible because I just do not want this thing in my inventory. It is dirt ugly, and it is just the worst knife in Assassin, period. And it is very hard to top that. I really don't think Prisman can make anything worse than this. I don't know where this came from, but whoever made this, you didn't do a good job with this one. It's not good. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. This was an interesting video, because usually I praise knives, and in this episode, I did the exact opposite. So, you know what? I think that was an okay video, I gotta say. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode of Assassin. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, those are the things that YouTube people do, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay purple.